4 painful truths that the unpracticed must face. This talk is called the 4 painful truths that those who do not practice Dhamma must face. It speaks of 4 kinds of suffering experiences that come naturally to anyone who does not yet know how to care for the heart, who does not yet walk the path of mindfulness and wisdom, but for those who have learned to care for the mind rightly, who have practiced according to the Blessed One's teaching. Even when the same storms of life arrive, they can pass through them peacefully, without sorrow, without pain. And for those who follow the Dhamma perfectly, the cycle of birth itself ends. They never have to return to this world of pain again. We will begin with the gentlest truth, like the sting of a mosquito, and then gradually climb step by step toward the deepest and most intense truth, the kind that can shake the heart like a great storm at sea. For those who do not practice, who have not yet understood the true nature of life, these storms can be overwhelming. This is not meant to frighten you. It is not like being thrown into the jungle to survive alone. This talk is meant to be a spiritual friend, a companion through every difficulty. It is divided into 2 parts. In the first part, you will see the 4 painful truths that every human being must meet unavoidably as part of living itself. In the second part, you will learn the way to meet those truths without pain, to find peace, even when life appears cruel and unkind. When you hear the second half, it will be like walking safely out of the tiger's jungle, back to a warm and peaceful home. That part is titled, "The One Sutta That Ends All Suffering and Brings Overflowing Joy." True happiness does not come from collecting pleasures to fill the heart, but from releasing the grip of self. When the illusion of self is gently laid down, all suffering is laid down with it. What remains is pure happiness, a freedom untouched by anything in this world. So, if you wish to know what the 4 painful truths are, and more importantly, how to protect your heart from them, don't miss a single moment of this reflection. By the end of the first part, you may feel these truths are heavy, perhaps even frightening, like being forced to carry a bag filled with venomous snakes, never knowing when one might strike. But when you reach the second part, you'll see that the burden can be set down so easily. You don't need to fight the snakes. Just place the bag gently on the ground and walk away, light, free, and peaceful once again. Now, let us begin. These are the 4 painful lessons of life, truths that ordinary people try to avoid, but the noble ones see as simple facts of existence. The first painful truth: success is hard. Every human life begins with a cry and clenched fist. No baby is born laughing. As the days pass, life seems easy, like a blooming flower, kissed by gentle sunlight. The child feels like the center of everyone's love. Every wish seems to come true effortlessly. When hunger arises, milk appears. When cold arrives, warm blankets come. When the child cries for a toy, it is brought to the bedside. That is why the Buddha once said, "Is greater than infants have crying as their strength." The cry of a baby is like a sacred mantra, a sound that bends the world to fulfill its tiny wishes. At that age, success always walks hand in hand with ease, like a small bird in its nest. When it opens its mouth and chirps, the mother bird brings food to fill it. Later, when the young bird leaves the nest, it still chirps at the worms on the ground, expecting them to crawl into its mouth. But of course, they never do. It takes time and the lesson of hunger for the young bird to learn that success no longer comes from crying, but from effort. As we grow older, what once was given freely must now be earned. The meals once fed to us, we must now cook ourselves. The clothes once laid out for us, we must now wash and wear on our own. The world that once responded to our cries has gone quiet, and the sacred mantra of childhood no longer works. Success begins to demand patience and perseverance. Without them, the things we reach for will slip beyond our grasp. When we were children, love and comfort came uninvited. But as adults, if we seek love, we must learn to give, to search, to walk toward it, not merely wait. That is why many people wake each morning to work long hours, just to earn enough to feed their children, to keep their families alive. Some carry heavy burdens: aging parents, sick spouses, hungry mouths, working beyond their strength for the sake of others. Each coin earned costs hours of sweat and pieces of the body's life. And often, when they return home at night, they wish only to lie down and never wake again. This is the quiet truth of adulthood, that success is never easy. Every house, every car, every little savings account has been built with sweat, exhaustion, and silent tears. Many must bow their heads in shame, asking for help through tears, because illness or misfortune has struck and there is no money left to heal a loved one. Thus, we learn success is easy to write about, but hard to possess. It is the first painful truth of life that success, while beautiful, often hides a silent suffering. Those who buy a house may one day lose it. Those who buy a car may see it taken away. Those who build a business may watch it crumble. All these are different faces of the same truth. Is greater than success is hard, failure comes easy. Even in the Buddha's time, Hemmalanatha, there was a learned monk named Pothila, so full of scriptures, yet so far from enlightenment that people mockingly called him empty palm leaf. He believed that realization would come easily when he finally chose to practice. But when he did, the path proved steep and difficult. Knowledge could not carry him across. Humility had to be learned the hard way. In the end, Pothila bowed before a novice monk, a child, and asked to be taught anew. Through sincere humility and practice, he finally attained arahantship. Imagine the pain of that lesson. A great teacher kneeling to learn from a boy. Yet that humility opened the gate to true success. Because success is hard, it demands patience, perseverance, and wisdom born of experience. Every drop of sweat that waters the tree of accomplishment is itself a verse of Dhamma, quietly teaching, is greater than success is difficult but not impossible. And in understanding this, the heart becomes softer, humbler, and ready for the truth yet to come. The second painful truth: nothing you possess is truly yours. The nature of fire, it is never satisfied with fuel. The nature of the sea, it is never filled with water. And the nature of craving, it is never satisfied with desire. So too, the nature of life is never full. It always wants more. Because of this, we pour our energy, our effort, and our intelligence into gaining what we long for. We call this success in life. We long for a house and strive until it is ours. We long for a car and work until we can drive it home. We long for a partner, a soulmate, and our effort makes it so. When we finally obtain these things, we clutch them tightly. My house, my car, my wife, my children, my wealth. We embrace them as if they were a permanent guarantee of safety and happiness. We tell ourselves, as long as I have this, I will be happy. As long as my partner is by my side, my life will be secure. As long as my house stands, my savings are in the bank, all will be well. If life were truly as certain as our plans, we would never have to face this second painful truth. Is greater than everything you possess is not truly yours. One day, you will feel the pain of loss, the loss of what you have, the loss of what you love. Success was already hard to achieve, but holding on to success, keeping people, objects, and circumstances with you forever is even harder. One day, the house you built with such devotion, the place you dreamed would shelter body and heart, may be torn apart by a storm or devoured by fire. All that you called mine, reduced to ash upon the earth. In that moment, you discover nothing was ever truly yours. Everything belongs to the world. When the world wishes, it sends fire or wind to take it back. If the house were truly yours, nothing could take it away. When you watch the news of a fire, you often see the homeowner collapsing, held upright by friends, tears flowing as the weight of hope shatters. This is what it feels like to meet this truth face to face. One day, an accident may happen, a single moment of drowsiness at the wheel, and the beloved car becomes a twisted heap of metal. If you survive at all, you are lucky. Some people buy a brand new car, park it outside overnight, and in the morning it is gone. The car is stolen. The car is stolen. And worse than that, they must keep paying the loan for years to come, paying for a ghost, as if making monthly offerings to the thief. This is the pain of realizing, if it were truly yours, no one could take it. Even if your house does not burn or blow away, time itself claims it. Pain fades, tears loosen, walls crack, roofs rust and leak. Eventually, you must tear it down and build anew. The Tibetan saint Milarepa once said, "Is greater than those who own many houses suffer greatly when death draws near." Hay meant, 1. The more we possess, the more we cling, hade tangkan basamati, hade tangkan basamati, and the heavier our suffering becomes. The same is true of cars. Even without accidents, maraka nipanikta mara, years bring fading paint, failing air conditioning, worn-out parts. Repairs drain your money until, at last, you trade it in for another. And the same is true of people we love, spouses, children, cherished friends. At any moment, accident or illness can take them away before their time. Even if no tragedy strikes, what in this world is immortal? Time carries away youth, beauty, and strength. Skin once smooth becomes lined. Bodies once powerful grow weak and need care. Even mountains erode. Even great rocks crumble. How could the things we cling to not change? When this unnegotiable truth arrives, how can pain not arise in the heart? A little attachment brings little pain. Much attachment brings pain multiplied. Such pain is hard to bear even for noble disciples at the first stage of awakening. Long ago, in the Buddha's time, Visakha, the foremost female lay supporter, lost her beloved granddaughter, Sudati. After the funeral, her heart was crushed with grief. She went to the Blessed One, her spiritual father, the one who had given her the new life of stream entry when she was only 7 years old. The Buddha, with gentle compassion, asked her, "Is greater than Visakha, why are you weeping, your face wet with tears?" She told him of Sudati's death. He asked softly, "Is greater than Visakha, how many people live in Savatthi?" She replied, "About 700,000, Lord." He asked again, "Is greater than? If all those 700,000 were as dear to you as Sudati, would you love them all the same?" "Yes, Lord." "And how many die each day in Savatthi?" "Many die every day, Lord," she answered, for she saw death daily. The Blessed One said, "Is greater than? Then your tears would never dry, for you would be crying day after day, moment after moment. Therefore, Visakha, let your weeping cease. Sorrow and fear arise from love. One who is free from attachment is free from sorrow and fear as well." Another story, equally well known, is of Pattakara. She was the daughter of a wealthy merchant, devoted to love above all else. For love, she gave up every comfort, ran away to live with her beloved in a distant land. One night, while returning to her parents, a storm broke. Her husband was bitten by a snake and died. At dawn, as she crossed a river, a hawk snatched her newborn from her arms, and her older child was swept away by the current before her eyes. That same night, her parents were killed when their house collapsed. Tragedy poured down upon her like a monsoon. She lost everything at once and lost her mind from grief. People began to call her Pattakara, the mad, pitiful woman. Consider carefully how intense this pain is. Those who have never faced such loss cannot imagine it. Those who have know it feels as if the whole world shatters. Colors drain from life, breath becomes empty, and nothing seems worth living for. This is not exaggeration. Even today, there are elderly couples who have lived together for decades. When one dies, the other soon follows, their hearts breaking under the weight of attachment. Sometimes one dies in the morning, and by evening the other has passed. Often they die in the same month or year, their funerals held side by side. Reflect with wisdom. The pain of loss is as heavy as your attachment. One small thing held tightly can cause more agony when lost than 100 things held lightly. Compared with this second painful truth, the first truth that success is difficult is only a mosquito bite. But the pain of facing this second truth, that everything you call mine is not truly yours, is like a knife's edge, and the truths yet to come will cut even deeper, like the loss of limbs. Will we be ready to bear them? The third painful truth, life is shorter than we think. Most human beings, lost in heedlessness, live as though they have endless time. When they wake in the morning, they think, Today will be like yesterday. They believe their age is the same. Their health is the same. Their life is unchanged. No one thinks, tomorrow I may fall ill. Tomorrow I may die. To think such a thought is considered cursing oneself. When sickness does come, people comfort themselves. Today will be better than yesterday. Tomorrow I will recover and return to work. Because we assume life is long and inexhaustible, we spend most of our days chasing wealth, status, praise, and worldly pleasures, never pausing to ask, how much time do I really have left? We believe with all our hearts that death is still far away. We feel we have plenty of time to own the things we desire, plenty of time to do everything we dream of. But the truth is, we do not know when death will arrive. We think it is distant, so distant we imagine it may never come. The Buddha taught that there are 5 things we cannot know in advance. 1. We cannot know our lifespan. Will we live 30 years, 50 years, 80 years, or more? 2. We cannot know our illnesses, what disease or accident may strike, or when. 3. We cannot know the time of death. Will it be morning, afternoon, evening, tomorrow, next year? 4. We cannot know the place of death. Will it be at home, on the road, or in a hospital bed? 5. We cannot know where we will go after death. Will it be a lower realm of suffering or a heavenly world of delight? If we do not know and yet live with heedfulness, this is a life praised by the wise. But most do not. They live as they always have, unmindful, as if they were gods in a human world, as if they will never die. In the scriptures it is said, beings in heavenly realms live such long lives, that a single day and night for a god equals 100 years for a human, thinking their life will never end. They plan endlessly for the future, gathering wealth, believing possession is security. When I'm hungry, I'll have food. When I'm sick, I'll have money for medicine. When I'm rich, people will respect me. Thus, heedlessness becomes a subtle illusion that fools us completely, until one day, death stands waiting before us. It may come as an accident, unforeseen. It may come as a terrible diagnosis, the doctor's words freezing the world in place. It may come as aging itself, the body slowly crumbling day by day. All the good doctors and medicines can only slow the fall. None can add a single day beyond our allotted time. When that day arrives, no matter what form it takes, the pain in the heart is the same, whether death from accident, disease, aging, or a doctor's whispered prognosis. The pain is born of one root, attachment. Death does not only take life, it takes dreams, hopes, and everything we thought was ours. It tears down what we built, destroys the future we planned. This truth is heavier than the first 2. It is heavier than knowing success is difficult. It is heavier than knowing everything you possess will one day be lost, because those losses are external. But the realization, I myself am about to die, is crushing. It is not just loss. It is the collapse of the entire life and everything imagined beyond it. Why is this pain so much greater? Because we were heedless with time. We believed life would never end. We built long plans and deep attachment. When death arrives, we see how short life truly is. We plan for our children's future, to see them graduate, to ensure their security. But sometimes life ends before the plan is fulfilled. The youngest cannot yet stand alone. The eldest has not yet finished school. and the pillar of the family is gone. There was still so much to do, so much time needed, but time ran out. And then the heart feels this life was so very short. We start a business or plant an orchard, projects that require years before bearing fruit. But the fruit has not yet ripened. The work has not yet blossomed, and life ends suddenly. The more time we think we need, the shorter the time we feel we have. The shorter we feel time to be, the sharper the pain grows. This third painful truth points directly at people and their unfinished tasks. It is the pain of racing against time. Perhaps we have only just begun to practice Dhamma, and death comes. Perhaps we still owe the bank. Our work is thriving, but has no caretaker. Our children still depend on us, and yet death arrives. This is called dying with eyes open, death with worry and unfinished business. To see clearly the difference between dying in worry and dying free of worry, listen to this true story. One night, during a small meditation retreat of 8 or 10 people, an elderly woman, nearly 80, felt her strength failing. A nurse in the retreat gave her an injection and asked her to rest. Her close friend panicked, urging others to call her family. But the old woman, believed to have attained stream entry, remained very calm. She showed no fear of death. She spread a cloth, lay down quietly, and spoke to no one. Later, she recounted, at that moment, she was not thinking of her children or even her body. She was thinking only, how shall I die well? She turned her mind to contemplate death and the 5 aggregates. Soon she felt her consciousness leave the body, floating 4 or 5 meters above, looking down at her own form, lying still, like a corpse. Then she returned to awareness, sat up and felt better. She had not died. We can see, Tam Kha, 1 2 2 Ba, the same situation, feeling death at the doorstep. But the heart's response is completely different. One person trembles in fear, needing company to ward off death. Another lies quietly, ready to let go, waiting for death like a gentle visitor. This is the contrast between dying with worry and dying with freedom. And yet, even this is not the final painful truth. There is still one more truth waiting ahead. The fourth painful truth. Throughout our entire lives, we have always believed that this body, this mind, is ours. We call it my body, my life, my mind. We guard it carefully, protecting it as though it were a treasure beyond price. We feed it, decorate it, and try to shape it into whatever we desire. We cling to the belief that if we manage it well enough, we can remain the owner of this life forever. But then comes the day when the body begins to weaken, when the doctor's voice carries bad news, when a test result confirms a disease beyond cure, when an accident strikes without warning, and life hangs by a thread. And in that moment, when death begins to close in, the pain of truth pierces the heart. We realize we must now part with this body, the one we loved most of all. Why does it hurt so much? Because to lose the body is to lose everything that depends on it. The people we love, the things we cherish, the very sense of me itself. Some feel as if their heart is being pulled straight out of their chest. Some can no longer speak. They just cry quietly, tears flowing down without end. Their hands tremble. Their bodies grow thinner by the day, for they can neither eat nor sleep. Others shut themselves away, locking the door and facing no one, not answering calls, not wishing anyone to see how fragile they've become, and some cry endlessly until their strength runs out completely. This is the fourth painful truth, the truth that those who do not practice Dhamma cannot escape is greater than this life is not truly yours. If life really belonged to us, no one and nothing could ever take it away. This pain arises because we see that death is something no one can resist or avoid. When death comes, it takes everything, loved ones, possessions, and finally, even the life itself. And when we see that all we built with such effort is about to crumble away, we realize everything we had was merely borrowed from the world. Nothing was ever truly ours. We wanted more time to finish what we started, to see those we love grow and be safe. But time runs out, and in that moment, we feel deeply that life is so very short. When death stands before us, so near and unstoppable, we finally understand not only are our loved ones, our wealth, and all our possessions not truly ours. Even this life itself was never ours to begin with. If the first painful truth is like a mosquito bite, a small sting of realization, the second, the loss of all that we possess, is like being cut by a sharp blade. The third, the realization that life is short, is like having one's arms and legs severed. Then the fourth, to realize that even the self is not truly one's own, is like having the heart torn from the chest. Those who discover this truth only at life's final moment often sink in sorrow, like a man drowning, too tired to fight the current. But those who realize it while still strong in body and mind, through calm and insight meditation, find that this truth does not destroy them. It frees them. It releases the heart from attachment and from all pain. Even though the truths of the world can seem harsh and cruel, the infinite compassion of the Buddha is like a stream of nectar, cooling the heat of suffering completely. It all depends on whether we are willing to walk sincerely in His path. If we do, and if our heart is steady and true, then none of these four painful truths can ever make us suffer again. They become simply the natural events of existence, like the moon waxing and waning, like the sun rising at dawn and setting at dusk. These truths become not chains that bind, but the very doors that open beyond all sorrow, toward peace, toward freedom, toward the end of every pain. Tonight, if you have listened through these 4 painful truths, you may feel something quietly shifting inside. Not fear, not sadness, but a calm acceptance, a deep sigh from the heart that finally understands life has never truly belonged to us. And yet, that realization is not a tragedy, it is the beginning of freedom. When we stop clinging, the heart becomes light. When we stop demanding, peace begins to bloom from within. And when we see that all things rise and fade, according to their nature, our mind becomes as vast as the sky, untouched by gain or loss, birth or death. If tonight you can rest your thoughts on these truths without resistance, you may find yourself smiling, not from joy or sorrow, but from a quiet knowing that everything is just as it should be. You are not the body. You are not even the story that life tells. You are the stillness that remains. When all else passes away, the timeless awareness that neither begins nor ends. So, sleep peacefully tonight, as though resting in the arms of Dhamma. Let the moonlight of wisdom wash over every shadow within you. Let compassion cradle your heart, as softly as a mother holds her child. For when the heart awakens, even pain becomes sacred. And when wisdom dawns, there is no suffering left to fear. Good night, dear friend of the path. May your dreams be light, your heart be free, and your spirit awaken to the peace beyond all sorrow.